Hi, my name is DeAndre Lott, and I work with Comcast and Max Preps. And today we're going to talk about what we talked about. When it was in 2009 to 2022. You know, back when I was younger, Grandma always used to say it was a lot more. Grandma said it was a lot more. Um, she said some old traditional word that was meaning more of compatible, and that's pretty much what mentioned me out as knowing how old she was, and knowing where her origin could come from after seeing her at Boston Tea Party or at Mayflower Compact or even in Connecticut at the time since 1941. Those are known states, so it's obviously we look out there individually sometimes. So I was just pretty much looking at the colorful cardinal at the time is pretty much what my grandma represents, and it's pretty much what she represented in her future of her present at the time. So that's pretty much what she represented for 50 years, 20 years, 30 years. And, that's pretty much represented by AIG, Jackson Hewitt, and AIG, Jackson Hewitt, and TransUnion. So, that's pretty much where you're using more of, our urban landscape to provide more for that. So, rather than the landscape being something like Leander, Luland, Abilene, in that type of define, we're looking at a more of a centralized government where, you're more closer to your governments of law of 1997, of 2047, of 2022. You're in your local modern law at the time. So, that's pretty much where you're looking at a modern state of Austin and looking at the new parts of Austin. And, it's pretty much where you're looking at the network side, all the software data that goes into AIG, TransUnion, Jackson Hewitt, being able to, inspired by those meanings, is pretty much where we want to be able to leave a good compassion towards, world cultures or world history, or, in that exam of nature. So you have more of what you're looking for at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where we're being able to share more components with what we know and what we want to be able to explain in the future for, at least 97, 71 hours at the time. So, that's at least working with at least 6 hours and 7 hours and 4 hour distances of detail at the time. So, it ain't 30 minutes, but, it do simulate, more of 30 minutes after 324 hours that pass, and you got more of a positive conclusion of the details that objective connects to at the end of the day. So that's pretty much all you was looking for at the end of the day. At the end of the day, so that's pretty much just being able to say, Grandma was thinking of something that was more of she would say something like affiliation, and it's something that brought it up to about bringing it towards being more compatible or more consumable or more efficient at the end of the day. It's pretty much you know you get into detail. What are you gonna do with it to provide the difference of it, and be able to put all that items and stuff together to where it makes more impassions toward its own promotions at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you want to be able to make your own individual modes of the other vehicle. So that's pretty much where you're using more detail between 5,000, 90,000, 90,000, 20,000. So it's just pretty much where you're using more of 2003 to 2019 of Harai by Code versus versus Jim Crow at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where you're working with those details. Other than that, you're working with Second Amendment, and then you're working with separation of powers, then you're working with process of elimination, then you're working with long division, and that's just a long part of what Google Docs or what TransUnion does or what MoneyGram Plus does to add those benefits to EcoHerbs performances, and being able to know more about ecoleaf mega platforms. Community deposits is pretty much what we want to be able to promote that for, as we promote more income for the templates that we eat, and being able to stock trade how we wanted to stock trade for our future investments of 2022 and 2034 of 2009 to 2018 at the end of the day. So it's just pretty much working with McDonald's 347, Burger King 949, working with Wendy's 980. So, that's pretty much where that goes at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much working with 90 meals, 80 meals, 39 meals, throughout the months at the end of the day. So, it's working on at least 90,886 cents at the end of the day, and trans tax being developed at the hour. So, it's pretty much working with its own city municipal area of its own private profiles at the end of the day. So it's pretty much working with Billworth Lot Industries and Enterprises of Austin at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you want to be able to leave more of a corporate manner for Colorado, Arizona, and Tennessee, of Nebraska at the end of the day, and be able to represent those countries in that region, so that you have more of an area space of recollection, and being able to appeal to different zones of the state, so the state doesn't look just basic or plain at the end of the day. So it's building more charisma towards having more definition and more graphics and more diverse imagery, promoted for these actions. So it's pretty much talks of a sophomore year in college at the time, and this could be any college except, accepting the fact that you have more of UT, Texas A&M, Baylor. You're using more of your primary states at this time, as you being able to pass a higher vocabulary of SAT. Your numbers are up, you read more, you have a lot more math stipulations that makes more of a primary statistic for itself. So it's using like 98 groups, 89 groups, 94 groups. That's pretty much where you're using, more of your group methods of compounds at the time. So, that's pretty much where you're being able to transition and composite on PMC2 squared, and you use the majority of that storage space to transition and composite, more of the bill statements, more of the tax reference, more of the, you just need something like a headquarters of your own FedEx of a sort. So, that's pretty much where you're making your own program for your own FedEx of your own district campaign as you make. And, that's just being able to create more business in the city towards the same free trade or free enterprise invested campaigns that go on in the city like that. So, that's pretty much where you're working on, all of the lights, whether it's Lanier, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Travis, whether it's Bowie, whether it's Crockett, whether it's Akins, whether it's Better Tech, whether it's Martin, whether it's Keelan, whether it's, you got so many different options. So, that's pretty much where you're using, more of your living spaces of, how you promote more for your world history at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much working with 981 other coordinates within, your location at the end of the day. So, it's just pretty much working with your local centric of the Central Texas area, and being able to use more locations within that area of that default at the end of the day. So that's pretty much using more of 97 years, 47 years, 97 years again, and being able to use more of your greater common factors to promote more for that detail. That's pretty much how you're creating a sustained statistic for a specified um, objective at the time. So that's pretty much where you're being able to provide more context clues, more descriptions, more explanatory sciences of that type of objective. So it's pretty much the more merrier, the more better. So that's what Restaurant Depot teaches you at the end of the day as you read on reading, writing, sciences. That's about all that Restaurant Depot can teach you at the end of the day. Impulsive intuition at the time. So it's being able to be impulsively intuitive, working with Southwest and working with Delta, working with United, working with American Airlines. It's pretty much where you're working with those details as well. So it's pretty much where you're working on which airplane you want to get on. Is nobody's ever going to judge you on your general information station or what you fly. Just because in 1981 to 1988, you're able to fly wherever you want to fly, and you can fly however you like to fly as long as you know more of your common recommended origin at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you're using more of your old fashioned state, and being able to go along with your traditions in a way. So it's pretty much being able to know more about um, your passion as a specific person at the time. 980 out of 9800. Being able to know a district from one person. That's pretty much what high school is all about. After one time, being able to know about that 9.1 solution. So it's pretty much working with the last 90 years of your life at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you're working with more of, not just 10th grade, but, 12th grade as well. So, it's pretty much knowing about 2012, 2022, 2024, 2026, 2020, 2032. That's pretty much where you're working with Jim Crow and hearsay and overruled trials at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where you want to be able to reduce off that, and be able to gain opposite instructions off that. Be able to name something good and be able to hang on it, and be able to use positive intuition statistics that will give you more of that intuitive smoke for yourself. So that's just pretty much giving the whole reunion more something to incline off of, and be able to to imaginate off of. It's pretty much what we need for for a state appliance as well. It's not just working with the city; it's working with the state as well. So however however you feel about that, it's pretty much working on a higher state as well. So it's pretty much working with the state of actual promotions at the time. So it's pretty much just working with the state, and understanding more of the high rate of its program as it gets coordinated with its areas of content at the time. So it's pretty much as I focus on my position, and more of what my position does. That's pretty much what I was focusing on at Aquatics. That was what I was focusing on at Enterprise. That was what I was focusing on at Restaurant Depot. And that's pretty much what you want to be able to focus yourself for your future career. What do you want to set yourself up for the future at the time? So that's pretty much where you're being able to build that default, and be able to make more capitalized references towards it, and just being able to build up your own story from there. Your description area, show it, tell it, sell it, being able to show and describe that stuff. So it's pretty much where you being able to be introduced to the Spider-Man methods, the Monsters Inc. methods, the Incredible methods. You know, you being able to understand more of the characteristic drive between the storytelling at the end of the day. So, you know, it's just pretty much just working with, you know, more of the nature of Italy, or, you know, Rome, or Spain, or, you know, even just spots around the world that, you know, coordinate from Connolly to Cedar Park to McNeil to Lago Vista, you know, just looking at, you know, coordinates from all over the landscape at the end of the day. So, you know, it's just like going from Ab- Lubbock to Abilene at the end of the day. So, you know, it's pretty much just looking at the difference of the coordinates, and, you know, why they're so different from each other, and, you know, being able to, you know, look at your 10th grade reasons of, you know, the world history behind, you know, Lubbock and Abilene, you know, for the third, 34th time at the time. So, you know, that's just pretty much walking over Texas history, and, you know, being able to understand more of Texas history at the end of the day, and, you know, knowing more about John Adams, and, you know, Andrew Jackson and Sam Houston as well. So, you know, it's just pretty much as you know more about, you know, your American history, you know more about, you know, what you need to do to have more content toward your career as well. So, you know, it's pretty much working with 2/3 of 22/31 which, you know, is FedEx's accomplished promotions at the time. So, you know, it's just pretty much being able to use 99 hours, 80 hours, 89 hours to provide a positive profit for yourself. So, you know, it's pretty much using more of that ecoleaf mega platforms to, you know, be able to prescribe more of that deducted time. So, you know, you can be able to you can have more of a positive retreat for, you know, for a you know, a time reduction, um, or deductible at the time. So, you know, it's just pretty much working with those details, and, you know, working with, you know, a tax reference with a bill statement. You know, it's just being able to figure out more of a deductible for itself, you know, being able to pay its options of bills at the end of the day. So, you know, it's just pretty much working with $97, $87, $97, and, you know, being able to promote more of its normal essentials of 2006 to 2014 at the end of the day. So, you know, it's just being able to know more about the 2-year investments that you needed to be able to understand more about, you know, more of your $400 meal that you wanted to receive at the end of the day, whether it was a pension, or it was a tax reference, or a bill statement, or a pension, or a grant, or a deductible at the end of the day. So, you know, that's pretty much where you're using more towards one profile of requests at the end of the day, which is how I get more towards my management, and, you know, be able to use more of my corporate approaches, you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, now that I've graduated, I can use whatever I want to use as far as my education skills to promote more for my banking skills, my financial solutions, my landscaping situations. You know, you can be able to purchase more items with, you know, more prosperity, faithful prosperity at the time. So, you know, as long as you have faithful prosperity, you know, you have 913 over 100, you know, 91300s over 100. You know, you can be able to create common factors of those types of details. So, you know, it's pretty much, you know, American Express versus Chime PMC at the time, Chime PMC 2 squared. with the 9/1300s versus 100, being able to use the squares at the time. So, it's pretty much where you're working with squares and, trying to transition them and composite them like PMC2 Square does at its distribution warehouse. So, that's pretty much what we learned, in the meantime of, being able to encyclopedia what money is of federalism and, looking at it in federalism ways. And, that's pretty much we're being able to calculate more of, a collateral benefit for, the rest of the city that haven't been eaten, being able to consume as much as they like. So, that's pretty much, where we find, more of a 3,500 production interest at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much not just all about stock or stock trade, you being able to find some money in it and you're able to use it for transition and transits and composites at the end of the day. So, it's working on your cell phone bill, whether it's working on your cell phone bill statement or your cell phone tax reference, that's pretty much where you're working with the decency of that chapter at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where we're using more of that invested incline for, how to promote more for work time investments at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where we're using 1937, 1987, and, 2022 at the end of the day. So, at the end of the day, so, other than that, we are working with 913 with one at the end of the day, and that's big compact over 99, 36, 96 different resistance at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you're working with at least 9 bikes, 13 bikes at the time. So that's pretty much where you're working with being able to transition them and being able to live your life cycle with it, and understanding more about your day-to-day cycles in your coordinate plots as well. So, that's looking at yellow, red, and purple coordinates, whether you're in the local town or whether you're in the city centric or you're in the downtown area. So, that's pretty much where you're looking at, more of Alamo Centers, you're looking at Gibbons, you're looking at Dottie Jordan, you're looking at Big Stacy, you're looking at Ramsey, you're looking at, you're looking at specifically those neighborhood parks at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much as you're looking toward there, you're looking at, bike riding, getting from villa to villa and, understanding more about 371 acres being developed other than Silker at the time. So, that's pretty much something to wild to look at after, being 12 years old, from 3 years old to 18 years old. And, being able to look at that is pretty much, what you want to see, from an individual perception at the end of the day, being able to know more about 10th grade, 8th grade, a lot of those as well. So, that's at least 89 profiles, 98 accounts, 49 subscribers at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much working with those details after 1997 to 2027 at the end of the day. So, that's working with 2013 of 2020 at the end of the day. So, that's being able to know more about, the positive benefits that give you more of a positive reformation of, how to promote more for the decency of your law at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much what you want to do to promote more for A's and B's and, being able to promote more for what your goal is in the future as well. So, that's being able to know city-centric from downtown view and knowing more of Austin statesman with, with what the Capitol does versus with what the City Hall does. And, that's pretty much where you're using more of your federalization forms to promote more for that detail at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much something good to have to understand more of as you get more compelled with those particular investments and operations um, and programs at the end of the day. So, it's something that we want, that is something that we want as long as it's part of the federalization area. It's something that we can chat about and, be able to comply with the world government of, what we like and what we want to be able to see general populations of at the end of the day. So, it's just pretty much, rather than being slow and suffocating and, suffering, we want to be able to promote, we want to be able to advance, we want to be able to excel ourselves. We want to be able to become the best we can be, for, the century that we have. I mean, that's pretty much what we've been learning this since 1971. And, we've been trying to recover from it since 2013, actually. So, that's pretty much what we're using 2013 and, being able to use more of 2022's and passion to wake up and, be able to get back on our study, as we have, less than 500 hours to break on. That's pretty much where you got to be able to have 3,000 hours or 2,000 hours to break off of and, be able to get a good gist of time, a good gist of time at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much just working with a little more time to get a good sleep in at the end of the day, just because you're a new creature in the world. So, you've been able to know more about, walking long distances and, being able to eat and, use the restroom as well. So, I was working with 98, 81, 74 right there. So, you're born in 84 at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much where you're using your own colony of your own colonization at the time. So, that's pretty much where you're using 1984 at the end of the day at, as part of your foundation of traditions at the time. So, that's pretty much where you start that at.